everyone, I'm Lizzie and welcome back to my channel. So I've said before in a couple of my videos that I live in New England, and specifically I live in the state of Connecticut. I live in a super small town in Connecticut that you probably have never heard of. And since moving home, there just isn't a lot to do here. As much as I love my small town, there's not really anywhere to go out to eat. There isn't really much to see. There isn't really anything to do. So I thought that I would bring you around on a little day trip to where my boyfriend Cliff actually grew up. So Cliff and I are both from Connecticut, and he actually grew up in Mystick, Connecticut. And there is so much to do in Mystick. So the other day, Cliff and I wandered around the whole town, and I just wanted to take you with me to explain some of our favorite places to go, some of our favorite places to eat and explore. Come along with us for the day, and I hope you enjoy a little bit of a day in Mystick, Connecticut. The whole reason that we went to Mystick is because of a place called Clyde's Cider Mill. Now, Cliff and I have been together for almost 5 years, and he has been hyping up Clyde's for literally 4.5 years. We have never been, and every fall he talks about Clyde's Cider Mill. So we had to go. On Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, you can actually see how they make their apple cider, but they're also super famous for their apple cider donuts. And they really are delicious. They have a hint of lemon to them. They have that sugar cinnamon coating. Oh, so good. They have a little general store that you can go into where they just have so many different baked goods, anything from pumpkin breads to apple pies, blueberry pies. They sell apple cider, hot apple cider, apple slushies. Like, the amount of things that you can get from Clyde's is insane. And all of it is really, really good. We actually ended up getting 6 apple cider donuts so that my parents could also try them. And we got some pumpkin bread, and I got a little blueberry handheld pie because I love a good blueberry pie. Clyde's is just a really cool place to go visit. If you've never been, highly recommend. The next place that we drove to was actually just downtown Mystick. Now, you may have heard of Mystick before because of the movie Mystick Pizza. And yes, this is exactly where Mystick Pizza was filmed / taken inspiration from. The movie is with Julia Roberts before her Pretty Woman days, and it's a cute movie if you've never seen it. Ironically, after living in Mystick his whole life, Cliff has never been to Mystick Pizza. There are actually 2 in the area, so there's one closer to where he used to live when he was younger, which was Mystick Pizza 2, and then the actual store that was featured in the movie is right on their main street. He's never been to the one on Main Street. Actually, neither have I, so maybe that's another visit that we'll have to take one day. A cool thing about Mystick is that it has a lovely main street, and it has lots of fun shops. Now, normally, people come to Mystick in the summertime, but it is always packed. And Mystick is a small town. They don't have a ton of parking. So trying to find parking in this town is insane. So it's kind of nice to go visiting it in an off season like the fall, because you can be guaranteed that you're going to find a parking space. Actually, scratch that. You're still not guaranteed to find a parking space, but you're more likely to find a parking space in some of the side streets if you know where to go. One of the newest places that just opened up is called Young Buns Donuts. Cliff has brought back Young Buns for us before, and to be honest, they're not my favorite donuts. Their donuts are just really dense. So if you're looking for that like soft, pillowy donut that you might get more at Clyde's Cider Mill, Young Buns doesn't quite fit that bill, but they're just fun flavors to try. They look delicious. They're really fancy donuts. Like, they have a Mystick donut, which is a donut that's cream filled with a chocolate glaze, kind of like a Boston cream, but with pistachios on it. And the one that Cliff actually opted to get was a red velvet one, and that was their flavor of the month. After Young Buns, I requested to go to Sift Bakery. Now, Sift is where it's at. It is a French patisserie style bakery. So they have tons of delicious food. A couple years ago, Cliff and I went, and it was a really tiny space. They did have an area in the back so you could see what they were working on, but they basically just offered like macaroons, small patisserie style cakes like opera cakes. I think they had baguettes, and it was one of those like first come first serve certain scenarios. So if you went later towards the day, you weren't guaranteed to really have any of the products. And now the store has exploded. They have a whole sitting area inside for pre-COVID. They have a huge outside area you can sit in, and they've taken the top of their building as well and turned it into seating during the day. And then at happy hour time, it turns into a bar called Mix. My favorite thing to get there is the everything croissant. The everything croissant is the best thing in the entire world. They take everything but the bagel seasoning, they sprinkle it on top of a croissant, and it changes your life. Sift is actually owned by the same person who owns Young Buns, and his name is Adam Young. Now, the cool thing about Adam is he actually competed in the Spring Baking Championship on the Food Network a couple years ago. And while he didn't win, he did make the top 3. And ever since then, his store has exploded. The other cool thing about the store is that you can actually see the people working and baking and cooking and things like that. I actually got to see the owner, Adam. He was right in the store working on product. And like I said, it is connected with Young Buns Donuts, which is right across the street practically. So he now has 2 businesses in Mystick, but hands down, you can skip Young Buns, go to Sift Bakery. One of our favorite restaurants to go to in Mystick is called S&P Oyster House. It's really nice because they have a great outside deck spot. And because of the pandemic, they have expanded their seating area to include the parking lot area as well. Seafood is one of my favorite things in the entire world, and Cliff and I collectively love mussels. Like, if mussels are on the menu, guarantee we are going to get some. We got these bruschetta mussels from S&P, and oh my good golly gosh, they were so good. They had that garlicky wine broth with tomatoes and basil. So it was like fresh and garlicky and so good. And the mussels were the perfect size. They were not too big and they weren't too small. And the bread that you could dunk it in, oh, it was so, so good. So good. We also ordered oysters. I think that's Cliff's favorite food. Also split a salad, which was really delicious as well. It was an arugula salad or a rocket salad. And it had shaved jicama, grapes, feta cheese, and a honey vinaigrette. S&P Oyster House is a great place to go to eat if you have never been. Cliff and mine's favorite restaurant in Mystick, though, hands down, is called Bravo Bravo, and it is literally across the street from S&P. Now, Bravo Bravo did not open up until 4 p.m. and we were going for lunchtime, so we weren't able to eat there this trip. But anytime we go to Mystick for dinner, Bravo Bravo is our first choice. The reason we fell in love with Bravo Bravo is because of the mussels. Like I said, Cliff and my favorite food together, mussels. And that is like where we fell in love over a plate of mussels from Bravo Bravo. Just kidding, not really. But I do love, love, love the mussels there. And I haven't had them in a while, and I'm almost wondering if the ones at S&P actually might be better. I don't know. We'll have to do a food comparison soon because, like I said, it's been a while since I've had their mussels, but they are really, really good. So if you go to Bravo Bravo, get the mussels. Cliff and I took a drive to his other favorite small town hangout. His other favorite small town hangout, which is the Mystick Market. Cliff and his mom have been going there for years, so much so that several of the people that work there know his mom and him by name. And I think that's really cool and really sweet. But it's just a market. They sell pre-made foods, they sell sandwiches, salads, sides, soups, and of course coffee. So we just went to get a quick coffee. We said hello to some of the people that he knew, but oftentimes we'll go there for lunch or just to pick up something for dinner, and everything is just really, really delicious. So if you want a quick lunch or just a quick cup of coffee from a local coffee shop, go to the Mystick Market. The last place that we went to in Mystick is Ye Olde Mystick Village, which sounds way fancier than it actually is. You can walk around, there's a lot of places to eat some food, and then there's just some funky shops, like the Scandinavian shop, where you can find all sorts of things from Sweden and Switzerland and gnomes, and it honestly reminded me a lot of my time in Germany. They have the candle shops, they have a chocolate shop, they have an old log cabin style store. Lots of different places to go, just wander around and look at some funky things. A lot of people would also love to visit the Mystick Aquarium. We did not go on this trip, or the Mystick Seaport, which also is where you can see a lot of the ships and boats docked. But this trip we just wanted to spend the day. But I love Mystick, I love visiting it, and it's just a great place to spend the day. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!